This is Channel 2 News, coverage you can count on.
Well, good morning. Today we have some dates we want you to keep in mind when you're filing your taxes.
Oh man, is that coming up? Plus, we have news of a big health breakthrough being worked on here in town at UNR.
And we have an update on a controversial bill in the legislature right now. These stories top your news right now at 6 o'clock. It is Friday, February 27th, 2015. Good morning. I'm Andy Gabar.
I'm John Potter. Not a big fan of Friday. It's just closer to Monday.
I like it.
Thursday, now that's a day. Good morning, Jeff.
Yeah, I'll take Friday. I'll take Friday and the weekend coming right up. Good morning, John and Andy. We do have a storm system coming right up. In fact, it's going to be with us by this afternoon. In fact, we have a winter weather advisory. Goes into effect 4 o'clock this afternoon all the way till Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock. That's when it expires. And that's for the Lake Tahoe area and for the Sierra all the way down to Mammoth Lakes. So we could see a good of 6 inches, a foot of snow in the high Sierra throughout this event. And we do have some scattered showers out there right now. Very light activity. Much of this probably not even reaching the ground out toward Lovelock and Austin, also up toward Winnemucca and Battle Mountain. So just some light scattered showers out there this morning. As far as snowfall amounts, Friday through today through Saturday, here's what we're looking at. Again, the Tahoe Basin could see 6 inches to a foot of snow, and even at lake level, 3 to 6 inches certainly possible. Western Nevada valleys, well, 1 to 3 inches possible. The question is exactly where those snow bands will set up as to how much you will get. So you could see a dusting of snow to maybe 1 to 3 inches depending on your location. 37 in Lovelock, 36 in Fallon. Temperatures not too bad out there this morning, 37 degrees. As you head out the door, the winds are calm for now. They'll begin to pick up this afternoon as that system moves through. We'll see some 15 to 30 mile an hour winds later on this afternoon with scattered showers. A good bet by this evening's commute. Look out for that. Talk more about this storm in just a few minutes. First of all, let's check out traffic now with RJ. Good morning.
Good morning, Jeff. Well, right now we do have an accident in Elko. If you are traveling through that area, it's on State Route 225 southbound. Just be aware of that. But other than that, all of our other highways and surface streets are traveling at top speed as we begin that morning commute. Be sure to buckle up, and if you're using that cell phone, use that hands-free device. That's your traffic.
New this morning, an early morning fire displaced 3 people who were living in a commercial building on 4th Street. Just before 3:45 this morning, Reno Fire Department called out to this fire on East 4th near Morrill Avenue. Reno Fire says 3 people were living inside the building, 2 adults and a child. Investigators trying to figure out the cause of the blaze and why there were people inside that commercial structure. Crews, by the way, contained the blaze to the garage of the property. The rest of the building suffered minor smoke damage.
And turning to the legislature this morning, an assembly committee is hearing one of the more controversial bills this session. It's Senate Bill 119. It has already passed the Senate, but supporters have a much bigger battle ahead of them. The bill would suspend the state's prevailing wage rules on school construction. Senator Ben Kekeffer says prevailing wages are overinflated and that letting the free market determine wages could lower construction costs, he says, by 30%. Critics say it would actually be closer to 5%. If passed, school districts could issue additional bonds using the existing tax rate to pay construction costs.
Washoe County and Clark County across our state, there's nothing more important than providing a safe and stable learning environment for our kids, and this does that, and it does more of it with the same amount of money.
Not everyone agrees. Laborers marched to the Capitol building yesterday. They say a suspension of prevailing wages means they'll be taking a pay cut. In Nevada, workers are paid prevailing wages for state-sponsored projects.
Hey, you know what? We're nearly halfway through tax filing season, but if you're one of the millions of taxpayers who wait to file, there are some deadlines and some changes this year that you should be made aware of, and the biggest is the Affordable Care Act. There's Ariana talking to our tax expert. Now, this is the first year insurance deductions are going into effect for people who buy it through the marketplace. At the same time, this is the first year people are seeing penalties if they did not enroll.
That is one of the biggest issues that we're seeing this year is people are having to pay some of that money back. Or if you just didn't have insurance, then you're paying penalties on not having insurance at all.
Many taxpayers may not realize the penalties they pay for not having insurance are taken out during tax filing. And if they underestimated their income and ended up paying less for insurance coverage, they have to make up the difference.
In Health Watch this morning, small companies are beginning to realize the real impacts of the Affordable Care Act. If you have just a handful of employees, it can be difficult to decide whether to cut profits and offer health insurance or to take that tax penalty. And OrthoPro falls into that category. The Affordable Care Act has meant new insurance programs that penalize those over 50, which half of their employees are.
And I'm saying to them, gosh, I really hate to put you in this situation, but now the choice is yours. Do you want to have insurance? If you want to have insurance, we have to take $90, $100 more out of your paycheck every time, and you get less benefits.
Well, they're still trying to figure out the best way to deal with it, but they say they hope to see reform come to health insurance rather than health care.
Well, in Money Watch this morning, it's a new development in a very old part of Reno.
This is pretty cool. A company called Urban Real Estate Investments. They focus on using existing buildings and turning them into thriving properties. And they have a new project. And to tell us more, we're going to turn it over to Landon Miller, live on the corner of 10th and Virginia.
Hey, Landon.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yes, this morning at the intersection of 10th and Virginia Streets, there are 3 buildings. You see them behind me, and starting on Monday, they'll be transforming those buildings into brand new businesses.
One is a garage, another is a home, and there's even an old psychology office.
It's kind of been hidden for a while.
But soon, this space at 10th and Virginia Streets will be transformed. Soup is opening a second location at the site, while the Hub Coffee Roasters is opening a 4th. 2 other businesses will call this place home soon, too. About 8,000 square feet in all in a prime location.
Great accessibility for the students, professors, professionals in the area without having to drive on site.
This new project is called Urban University. Patty Egan and Joe Udvari own Urban Investments, a real estate company that puts tenants in older locations. They're the guys behind Urban Riverside, the shopping area near the Truckee River.
We get to come into some of these buildings that are, 80, 90 years old, that have that history, have the character.
But instead of demolishing and building new, they embrace the history of each site.
So what we're able to do is go in, revamp, repurpose, bring tenants, retail tenants in that bring the community back into these properties.
And if anyone is a believer in the idea, it's this guy, Mark Truio, owner of the Hub Coffee Roasters. He's excited to be opening a 4th urban site.
Back then it was like, boom, we're just going to tear this place down, we're going to make it our own. Well, you can make it your own by keeping it the same.
By the way, this building that you see here was built in 1930. Another one just on the other side was mid-1920s, so they are definitely old indeed. They're looking for one more tenant to fill about 1,000 square feet, so if you're interested, you can contact them. By the way, Hub Coffee Roasters will be opening here on June 1st. Covering Money Watch Live from the University of Nevada, Landon Miller, Channel 2 News.
Hey, if you have Hub and Soup, it's going to be a success. Thanks, Landon. Also in Money Watch, the Nevada Gaming Commissioners, well, did you hear the news about IGT? They voted to approve the deal for Italian lottery maker G-Tech to acquire our local company, IGT, and this new company is going to continue to bear the IGT name. The deal involves $4.7 billion in cash and stock and $1.7 billion in debt. And now G-Tech is working to delist itself from Italy Stock Exchange, and it will be listed on the New York Exchange as IGT.
And Nevada gambling regulators also voted to allow Silver State sportsbooks to offer bets on the Olympics. Revised regulations allowing the Gaming Commission chairman to limit bets at his or her discretion and wages had been banned for more than a decade. The new Olympic Games will be the Summer Olympics in Rio de Janeiro next year.
School Watch this morning, a major medical breakthrough for male infertility was recently discovered here at home by a research team at the UNR School of Medicine, where they identified the exact gene responsible for headless sperm. Frozen mice sperm allowed researchers to identify why some sperm are created without heads. One doctor says it's impossible for headless sperm to reach an egg, which can be frustrating for a couple trying to get pregnant.
We look for the reasons of infertility. At the same time, once we identify the reasons, we can utilize the mechanism to develop contraceptives.
Dr. Yan wants to take his discovery one step further with a male contraceptive pill that creates headless sperm on purpose. And once a couple's ready to conceive, the man goes off the pill and the sperm fully developed. This doctor, to me, sounds like a total genius.
It's fascinating. I wonder if
Yeah.
it would work. I mean, especially the contraceptive pill. I mean, will it reverse?
Well, the theory is right, and it just blows my mind that right there at UNR we have a doctor who thought this up.